Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making this three-piece set outfit, and for this project I made use of 2 years of this stretch fabric to make the outfit that I made. You can make use of 3 yards if you are bigger, or 2 yards if you are my size. So right now I'm about to cut the skirt. I've marked my starting line and I'm going to mark down my hip line, and then I'll mark the full length of the skirt. That is optional. You can go as long as you want. So I'm marking where my length is going to be. After marking my length, I am going to connect the lines, and I'll come to the waist and mark my waist measurement divided by 4, and I'll also mark my hip divided by 4, and then I'm also going to place my hip measurement minus 1 inches to get my length, to mark for the length, for the full length of the skirt. When you're working with a stretch fabric, you don't really put allowances because the fabric is already stretchy, and if you put allowance, it's not going to fit the way it should. So you can just mark your exact measurement without allowances, or you can even reduce the measurement, like reduce your measurement. You can reduce it minus 1 inch or 2 inch. But here I didn't do that, and when I was sewing it, I had to sew it as at a 2 inch sewing allowance. So you can still leave allowances so that you can go in and you can expand it later if you want to. So now I'm also cutting the back of the skirt. I placed the front and I'm cutting the back. I left a 1 inch zipper allowance at the back, and I've marked that I'm going to slit that open. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to cut out the facing for the skirt. So this is the skirt. I've cut out the facing. I'm just going to place them on top of each other, right sides facing. Then I'll flip it over and top stitch on it and give it a good press. Then come back and join it. So basically that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing all of that. When I'm done, I'm also going to attach the zipper for the back piece. Yes, go ahead, attach the zipper for the back piece. It's just the normal way you sew a skirt, but the fabric is thick enough, so I don't need to like put a whole lining and stuff. So, but if you're working with a line with a fabric that is like see-through, you should use a lining to like line everything. So this is it. I've already given it a good press. I'm gone ahead to put my zipper. I used a paper stay to hold the zipper in place so that it doesn't stretch, because this is a stretch fabric and it moves around. It moves a lot. Like if you don't do that, it's going to move, and then your zipper is going to have like folds. So I'm done with that. I'm gonna like sew the size of the skirt. I'm going to put in my measurements. Like I said, look, I did, and I left some allowances, and that was very unnecessary actually. So now I have to like reduce that. Even with this, I still went in to like reduce it again after I put my normal measurement, because stretchy fabric, they stretch out, and then they have to be like tight so they can give you the fit that you want. So right now this is what I'm just doing. If you're doing yours, you can actually reduce it so you don't have to be left with, so you don't have to waste fabric with the whole living allowance and stuff like that. So that's just what I'm doing right now. Once I'm done, I'm going to join the skirt and hem the bottom of the skirt and then move to the top. So for the top of the long sleeve top, I basically just did DIY. Like I didn't do any serious drafting of pattern. It's the first time I'm making this kind of top, and I just used my imagination. So basically this is what I'm doing right now. I'm drafting the back piece. You're just going to draft a basic back, like a basic bodice. I'm not putting a zipper on the top, but if you are putting a zipper, you should leave a space for your zipper. But this is a stretchy fabric, so I don't need to do that. I'm not putting a zipper. So right now I'm just drafting my normal basic top. I put my shoulder measurements, and then the width of my neck is 3 by 1 inch for the back, and then I connected it with my shoulder measurements, and I'm marking my armhole. I'm going to join all of that together, input my measurements, my body measurement, my bust, my waist, and I'm going to connect all those points together to get this top and use the length that I want my top to be. All these measurements is all based on what you want, how long you want the top to be. This top was at my waist length, so I just marked my half cut measurement, which is like from my shoulder to my waist, and I just drafted that. So this is the back. What I did here, I'm just folding the back so I can like have the half piece of the front, and then I'll draft out the yoke for the front later. But basically you need to get like the front, like half of the front, that is from your bust to the waist. Then you're going to get from the shoulder to the bust point, that is for like your yoke. So basically just look at what I'm doing and you can do yours as well. So that's it. I'm just drafting that for the front piece. This is the big piece of the front. So I've cut that out. I'm also going to cut like an interfacing for this, just like the one we did for the skirt, the 2-inch interfacing we did for the skirt. I'm going to do that for this one as well. So now I've placed the front piece on the back piece. I want to try and get how long my yoke is going to be. So I've marked it. I think this yoke was about 6 inches. You're just gonna add like 7 inches to like get plus dice plus like the sewing allowance as well. And then here I'm just trying to like mark how wide the yoke is going to be. I just drafted it to like get drafted it on the back. This is how I want the yoke to look like. I think it's called a Queen or is it Princess Anne yoke. I didn't really know how to draft it, so I just DIY'd it, like just basically did that. So now I'm placing to trace out on the other fabric that is down. If you have a tracing wheel, you can actually use that, or like something to trace and just get what you want. So basically I just trace the back. I think people have tutorials on how to actually draft these things on paper, but I don't. At the time, this is just what I could do, and I just did it to get what I want. Sewing doesn't have to be that difficult, like to go and start drafting stuff on paper. You can just DIY, just freestyle, and once you get what you want, that's it. So that's what I just did here. I need 4 pieces of this because one for the left, one for the right. Oh, two for the left, two for the right, because you are still going to use that as the facing. So as you can see, you see how that looks so well. Like you see how that go well together. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So we're gonna get 2 of that. Like use it as the yoke as well. And I think here I already did that. Yeah, I've joined them together as the yoke. I've done like the interfacing for the back, and now I'm just going to join the back and the front together. I actually lost some clips to this video. I did this video like a while. I just didn't edit it soon, and then anyways, this is the yoke. As you can see, I sewed it into two. It's very actually, if you're looking at this, you should understand what's going on. It's just the way when you sew something, you put lining, but instead of lining, we still use the same fabric to like sew it so that it's reflecting on the other side as well. So here you're just going to get how wide you want the yoke to be from your, like the space you want in between your chest. That's like your neckline, how wide you want it to be, and then you just place it there and place the interfacing on top of it and just cover that and sew it. That's basically what I did here. I just tried to, most of this is when you're doing it, you can just be using all these things, like place it on your body to see how you want it to be. That's why sometimes they have like a mannequin where you can trace all of that. You can just, pin on it and do. But if it's your clothes, you can literally just be placing it on your body to be sure that, okay, I like the fit of this and I'm just gonna go with this. So you can just do that. So I just pinned that together and I went ahead and sew it with a straight stitch and top stitch it at the back and then give it a good press, flip it over, and the front piece is done and it's ready to be joined with the back. That's just what to do here. It's that simple. So that's just what I'm doing here. When I'm done, I'll join it with the back. And voila, I've done that already, if you can see, and I've joined it with the back. Yeah, I've joined it to the back. Now I'm just going to join, I've joined the shoulders. Now I'm just going to join the sides and then put my sleeves. I'm putting the sleeve on a round sleeve method that you put your sleeve in a round method. You don't need to, I didn't put it on that flat method because it's the way that one looks. Anyways, this is just how it's looking. Just wanted to show you. And then we're going to proceed to cutting the sleeve. Alright, so for the drafting of the sleeve, what you need is to measure a round sleeve, like around your arm, your round sleeve, and then the length of your sleeve, how long you want your sleeve to be. You measure that, and I've that's just what I'm marking on my fabric right now. You measure that, you mark it, and then you cut that out, and then sew the sleeve close, hem the bottom of the sleeve, and then you just attach that to the top. I've cut one. I'm going to place the other one on the going to place it on the other one and cut it out in two pieces. And this is it right now. I have the left and the right, and I'm just going to attach it to my top right now. So this is it. The top is sewn closed. The sleeve, I've sewn it as well. I'm just going to attach it. This is the round method of fixing a sleeve on a dress. The other method is a flat method. This one is a round method, and it usually fits very nice. It's actually very nice. The other method kind of gives it this look. It doesn't really lay flat and all of that, but this one does. So I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and I'm just going to stitch that in place, stitch that close, both the sleeves. I'm going to do that to them, and that will just be it for the top. This top will be completed here because it's just to sew the sleeves and everything is done. I hope this tutorial was clear. I don't really know how else I can explain it because I basically just DIY'd it, just did what I could. But if you follow it step by step, you should be able to do it. So this is the remaining fabric that I have for the other top. I actually lost the clip on how I drafted this top and the whole everything, like the sewing. This is just the clip I have left. So I'm gonna do a tutorial on this particular top. If you want a tutorial on this, just let me know in the comments, so I'll do that. It's a very simple top. Actually, I just joined it together and I use a bias tape for my neckline and then my armhole, and that was just it. The top was done. It's very simple, but if you need a tutorial on this, let me know. Once I was done with everything, this is how the outfit looks. It's very beautiful. I'm literally obsessed with two-piece and three-piece sets because you can wear them in so many different ways, and that's just why I love them so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.